This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Keller's Garden Center and Landscaping Services. Winter is here, and I encourage you to save your back this year. Contact Keller's today and get a quote for residential or commercial snow removal. And also, it is never too early to start thinking about spring. COVID has put a delay on so many things. Do not delay in getting yourself set up with one of the best in the business when it comes to getting your yard looking its best. Visit Keller's at their location on Kern Street in Exeter, Pennsylvania, just down the street from Blue Ribbon Dairy, or head over to their social media pages for more information. Welcome to the Popko Project Podcast, a platform for the discussion and discovery of arts and entertainment. We focus on highlighting people and events that add value to the world around us. Visit us on all social media platforms by searching the Popko Project, or visit our website at thepopkoproject.com. Welcome to the show, and thank you so much for listening. Yeah, we're live. Gentlemen, what's up?
Going on, man? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Very good. No complaints. Another awesome day.
Yeah, I mean, we said earlier that it's about 60 degrees here in Northeastern Pennsylvania.
Yeah, you can't beat that in February.
Yeah, February 20th right now?
21st.
21st? I don't know what day it is anymore. But won't get used to it, though, because in about 4 more days, it's going to snow about 10 inches.
Perfect.
Yeah, but thank you for joining me. I'm joined by Jaysen, who is the owner of Wayne's World in Dallas, and his manager, Sam. And Sam, I believe you are also a member of Spud?
Yes, sir.
The band Spud?
Podcast with you a couple months ago.
Yeah, anyone who wants to check out the podcast with the band Spud, head over to the Popko Project on all streaming platforms, and you can jump to episode, what is it? I should have been prepared. It was a while back. It feels like yesterday, but it was actually, episode 30, and that was April 1st of last year.
How back?
Yeah. And we've got a dog who's joining us. I'm hoping.
This is Chloe. She's our shop dog.
Shop dog.
We've got a shop dog at Axelrad.
Oh, yes?
Yeah.
Gotta have a shop dog.
Gotta have it. Yeah, I mean, every business should have a shop dog. They're the best, like, icebreaker, and it can go like one of two ways. It can go like the customer could be terrified, or just the happiest they'll be all day. But an icebreaker nonetheless.
Yeah, we have people stop in just to see Chloe.
Yeah.
I hope she's getting a commission.
She is.
He's our best friend.
She gets fed in a nice warm bed, right?
And treats. I think that's why she's sitting here begging me now.
Yeah, she started getting kind of fat from it. She's starting to bulk up a little bit.
Yeah. So, I mentioned that you're the co-owner, or not co-owner, you were the owner of Wayne's World. And Wayne's World in Dallas, Wayne's World in general, the name has a long history in Northeastern Pennsylvania. At one point, they had a couple of different locations. I know they were on Main Street in Pittston for, way back in the day. Then they opened the shop in Dallas, where you are now. Talk a little bit about, what Wayne's World means to this area, because like I said, it's been around for a long time. And if you know the history, please, by all means, share that with me and the listeners.
So Wayne originally opened back in Pittston, and I think it was 95 or 96, primarily as like CDs, cassettes, and like VHS. He's always been doing like the buying, selling, trading thing, which we still do today. He did move a couple locations in Pittston. He started on Broad Street, and then moved to South Main Street in Pittston. And then where he was for probably about 10 or 12 years was right on South Main Street in Pittston. Maybe like 8 years into having that is when he opened up Dallas as well. And he had both locations going. And when he moved up here, he started doing the instruments and repairs and giving lessons and stuff, but still kept the records and CDs and all that. just kind of expanded into doing more. And then he decided he wanted to move to Key West. So he left me here for a couple years. And then I finally bought it off him and just kept the same thing going that he started like 25 or 26 years ago now.
Yeah, not a bad move for him, right?
No, not at all. Great place to go and visit too, and not have to, pay for a hotel or any of that stuff, which is nice.
Yeah, you got to do a business trip,
Absolutely.
meet with the former owner, get some tips and all that kind of stuff, right?
Absolutely.
But so you bought it off Wayne and his wife, Jamie, right? Is that
Correct? Yeah.
Right. That was just recently, within the last year or two?
Of last year, so January of 21.
Now, was that something that you always wanted to do? Or, I mean, like you decided to buy it in the middle of a pandemic?
It was kind of crazy, yeah. So I started in Pittston, actually. So I'm from Pittston. So I started there when I was a kid. His location on North Main Street, actually rented off my dad. So I started going in there when I was real young. And then pretty much I was going there every day. I had no choice but to put me to work. So I was working there. And then when I came up here, like we kind of talked about him selling it, me buying it, like the timing was just never right. But then the pandemic hit. So the timing was kind of right for him. But I was like, but it's been business so long. I figured, I think I could keep the ball rolling and keep it going. And so far it's been going good. So luckily, you were through the pandemic. All right.
I mean, you were basically running it while he was in Florida, right? So it's not really.
It wasn't anything new to me per se.
Yeah, just a financial jump.
Exactly. Correct.
And today, Wayne's World, for people who may not know, I mean, what is your day-to-day business right now on Memorial Highway in Dallas?
I mean, we definitely still do a lot of instrument lessons, guitar, piano, bass, mandolin, ukulele, banjo, pretty much any string instruments. Plus we do drums as well.
Piano.
Yeah.
Did you say piano?
I didn't say piano. And then vinyl's still very big for us. We still do a lot with vinyl, mostly used, but I do, I stock some new vinyl as well. I still take pre-orders if people want to order something they can't find. CDs people still buy for their car, whatever. Video games, not as much. Like we still carry video games in the systems, but they, not as big as it was a couple years ago.
The vinyl thing still has me blown away. I don't know. I can't get into it.
Yeah.
I already kind of pre-warned him about this. We had this conversation with the Spud podcast.
Did we? I can't remember what I talked about.
I feel like part of it, other than the sound, is like the collecting of it. I mean, going and finding it and digging through boxes and crates and looking for stuff. And then even just, some of it has super cool artwork. People will buy stuff, myself included, because it has a really cool cover. Take it home and it can really surprise you and be something really good. Or it's just another, piece to hang on the wall. But just, about digging for it and not just going on your phone and going, the Who and having it pop right up, it might take you to find a record you're looking for. But then when you do, it's like,
I mean, I can appreciate the art aspect of it. I mean, from what I've seen out there, like the new stuff, especially, it is pretty neat.
Yeah, cool stuff.
Whether it's the record itself being, the different colors or, the transparency of it or whatever it might be, it is cool. I just can't. I don't know. And I can appreciate what you're saying about digging through stuff and finding gold almost.
Yeah. So is it an audio thing for you?
Audio is one, yeah, for sure. I mean, I have friends that will try and tell me to this day that records sound better than a CD. I don't believe that's possible.
I feel like that's true, and it's not.
I think they sound less like perfect, but I think there's something more authentic and real sounding about a vinyl. And it also depends on your setup. Like if you've only ever listened to vinyl like through like a briefcase record player with built-in speakers, and let's say like it's an old beat to ship vinyl with pops and scratches in it, it's not going to sound great. But you get a brand new 180 gram vinyl, put on a good turntable with good speakers, it's going to sound like nothing else.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of a comparison of that. And I had one the other day and I forget what it was. I don't know. But I had a good comparison for that.
Also, just like with vinyl compared to CDs, like mix wise, with CDs you have to compress the sound a little more, so everything does sound a little tighter and glued together, but you end up losing some frequencies. Vinyl, you could carry more frequencies because it's more analog based, just the way it's recorded. So you get more frequencies in the low and the high ends that end up getting lost in the CD.
That's why
transition, and then get lost even more when you switch over to MP3. Then everything just sounds completely squished.
And that's why on a record you could only hold, say, I think it's like 23 minutes per side, where a CD could hold 80 minutes, and then an MP3 could hold, I don't even know, however long. So they're compressing everything to get it to fit. That's why records used to be double and triple records. When they came out on CD, they're only one CDs. They compress all the sound to get it to fit. So you do lose a little bit, but I mean, the average person might not notice it. Like, if you don't have, if you're not listening for it, you might not know. Because same listening to the radio, like most people aren't going to notice they're not hearing everything because what they're used to hearing anyway. So they don't realize they're missing out on something. Kind of like VHS, how it used to, be the whole screen. Then when DVDs came out, widescreen actually did show more, but you're so used to seeing in the movie on VHS, you know what I mean? You never knew you were missing out on anything.
Right.
So
it's kind of interesting how over time, things change like that. And it's kind of hard to think about where we'll be in the next 10 to 15 years.
Oh, yeah. It's just,
and actually just like, because we were talking a while ago about whether or not CDs are going to make a comeback like vinyl did. And
I think so.
I think so.
Yeah, and I was actually kind of skeptical of it because I didn't think it had the same novelty as vinyl. But we checked, like, last year, what was it? CD sales went up 10% or something?
Yeah, first time in like 15 or 20 years that CD, maybe not 20 years, maybe 10 years, that CDs outsold MP3s in like 10 years. So I think even in the future, kids that never seen them might get a kick out of and want to go buying them again because it's just something they never seen before, kind of like how vinyl made a comeback with kids that never seen them. I think the same thing might happen to CDs once they're kind of, I want to say non-existent, but where most people aren't using them, I think they might have a comeback. Well, I mean, future, but
Yeah, I mean, even bands, maybe this was like 2, 3, 4 years ago, and maybe even today, I'm not really sure, but they started making cassettes.
Yeah, that started making a comeback too as well.
A big comeback.
Which they didn't sound better and they don't even look that cool.
Yeah, so, I'm not a big fan of cassettes.
Yeah, it just like I for the longest time I continued to support the local record stores and buy CDs because that was my thing. I would buy CDs every week, and it just like it got to the point where I was spending like $50 a week, and I'm like, man, it's $200 a month, and that's just not financially responsible. Because my problem was, I'd go in without even having a purpose to be in there, and I would just find something to buy, whether it was I liked the art on the cover or I was digging through the used section and I found something I didn't have from the 90s or whatever, early 2000s. I would just buy it to buy it. And what I would do too is I would just come home, I would rip it onto the computer, transfer it to my iPod, and then I would go from there. So like my CD collection is like immaculate as far as the condition that it's in too. I'm hoping maybe one day my son, will open up the cabinet and maybe go through it and think it's cool. But the convenience that you have, I fought for a long time. I would still buy CDs and put it on the iPod, but like, it's just like these phones, and it sucks. I hate being guilty of it, but it's just,
It's definitely convenient. Like, it's nice having the option to just pull up anything you want anytime and listen to it. But at the same time, like, and I kind of got away from CDs for a while too, because I was just streaming in my car because I just wanted to listen to so much stuff. But at the same time, it's nice to just have a CD in the player, so when you start your car, you can just go and just continue where you left off, rather than having to pull out your phone and think about what you want to listen to. And
sometimes there's too much, and I'm like,
sometimes it's overwhelmed.
But I like to. Sometimes I'll just leave my house what I know I'm going to listen to that day. So I go both ways too. I still definitely play CDs. I do streaming as well, and sometimes it's easier, like he said, to just kind of know what I'm going to listen to that day and have it in. So other times I'm spending half the drive looking for what I want to hear.
I'm guilty of that too, and I miss listening to a CD from start to finish, like at once.
Especially a lot of albums are made to listen to that way. Like it's hard to Pink Floyd CD. She's doing it again.
So we got the dog humping the leg. This is a PG show.
It's actually really weird because she usually doesn't do that. I think that's the first time she ever did that. She did it twice.
Sure. Yeah, she saw a camera and I was like, all right, time to perform.
You're a star.
15 minutes of fame right here. But yeah, I mean, even it goes to, I talk about this a lot too. It's like, you mentioned having too much going on and, Netflix and all that kind of stuff. Like there's like too much out there. Like I spend more time looking for something to watch than I do actually watching something.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And you asked me a question before and I completely gapped out on one of the aspects of the business. You mentioned what we do here. And we did actually build a stage a couple months ago. We've been doing some live shows here, and we started open jam sessions, get people to come down, play with other musicians.
With Spud?
Spud's the back.
Bro, I had you. I wasn't going to let you forget.
I just hit me that I didn't bring that up when you asked what we did. I was like,
I was kind of happy you didn't. I was like, all right, well.
Sorry, my bad.
I'll set him up. Who's doing this interview, you or me?
My bad.
No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I mean, talk about that. I mean, that's why I think Sam reached out for the most part. Obviously, you have a year under your belt running or owning Wayne's World, and you guys want to kind of add to the local scene that we have here, not just being a local business, but also a place where people can perform. So yeah, you built this stage. Talk about that.
That's really like you touched on it right there about helping out the local scene. That was the main thing when, as soon as Jay bought the store like a year ago, I think we were just like, yeah, let's start doing different stuff. So we took a while and built the stage, and like it's cool because like at first, especially last year, like none of the shows we did where we didn't have any charge on the door or anything. Everything was free. So it was all just about trying to bring the music community together and just get people out and playing. And he mentioned we started doing the open jam sessions, which we just started doing recently, and we're doing the first Tuesday of every month. So the next one's going to be March 1st. And it's just cool because I wanted to get, I feel like there's starting to be a lack of local bands right now. So I just wanted to see, new people getting together to play and start maybe forming some new projects and just getting the interest going and playing with other people.
And doing it a little different than open mics where it's not mostly just someone coming up with an acoustic guitar and playing, which is fine. We were talking about doing open mics down the road too, but this is more to get people playing with
other people,
with other musicians, get them playing with people they may never played with before, making some connections. So yeah, because it's been fun so far.
Because it's like all my students, because I am one of the teachers here, all my students, I always tell like the only way to really get better as a musician is to play with other people. Like you could practice in your room all day by yourself and it only gets you so far. It's pretty much just like preparing you for when you get out and interact with other musicians. And that's when you really start honing in your skills. So I'm really trying to just share that with people and get more people interacting like that. Because it's not really anything like it. So when we do those jam sessions, it's pretty cool because we pretty much have Spud set up and we start the night off with a couple of jams, and then it's pretty much just open stage. Anyone could hop in and join. We could hop off, and just whatever happens, happens. It's not really much of a structure to it.
Well, what time does that start on the first Tuesday of every month?
7:00.
And goes till?
Whenever. Yeah.
7 ? That could be like scary.
we like to get late here sometimes. Been a couple of Spud shows here where we were here till 4 a.m. So
the weekend ones are a little easier to go late, like being that's a Tuesday. We'll go to question mark, but I think the last one went to like 11:30.
Yeah,
maybe. It wasn't super late. We've done Spud shows where we've been here to like 3 a.m. They just wouldn't get off stage, just kept playing. If people were here, they were playing. So
yeah, that's my philosophy. If there's even a handful of people and we have instruments on stage, why would we stop?
Yeah, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's not really a place in the Back Mountain area that has a stage for bands to play. I mean, maybe Grotto out at Harvey's Lake.
And they don't really
they don't even really have a stage.
Mostly just solo and duos, I'd say.
And also most of the venues. Sorry, Chloe's running through the garbage in there. Chloe.
Stop that dog.
She's crazy. Shut that door.
Gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. Trash dog.
Most of the venues in the area are pretty much just bars, and
there's not really a stage. It's kind of a set up in the corner, put up your speakers, and
I like playing bars too as a band. It's fun.
Yeah, nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying there's no real like stage for a full band to really
no. And there's also no for people, kids under 21 to play, because you can't even play in a bar usually if you're under 21 anymore. So
yeah, they put an end to that, so it's rough.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who has local musicians out that way. I guess three guys.
Yeah, three guys.
J&J. And...
They don't do it anymore. J&J doesn't do it no more.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, J&J actually got they got sued by ASCAP.
Oh, that'll do it.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
It's rough at 21 though. There's just no really, there's nothing left anymore. There used to be, what was it, Metro down at Wilkes-Barre years ago.
Yeah.
The coffee place. There was a couple places, but now it's pretty much 21 and over most places to play. So, and to even go see music. Like if you don't really have clubs left anymore that were under 18. Like when I was a kid, there was Staircase and Tinks, and there's a couple places that, I was able to go to and see music. But now, unless it's an actual venue like the Kirby Center or the arena, there's nowhere really to go see music if you're under 21 or play it. So, give everyone an opportunity to enjoy some music.
Yeah, that's really cool. I mean, I was doing a like an underage, or all ages rather, I should say, all age shows at Carl Hall, which is one of the very few.
Yeah, I forgot about that place.
Yeah, this was back in 2019 and like the first 2 months of 2020, and it was great just to see parents bring their young children, and like it's great. The bands would like kind of get like after they were done, they'd stick around and like take pictures with the kids, and I just thought that was such a cool like moment for me, at least, just to be an organizer of that and see young kids appreciate music.
I agree.
So I'm guessing the goal of this whole thing would to be also provide that, right?
Absolutely. Yeah,
definitely. Especially like with being a store that offers music lessons and stuff, it's nice to have the option out there. If you have a student that's starting to get pretty good, to be like, hey, come out to this jam session and try to jam with some other people, try to put some stuff together.
Has that happened yet?
Not yet. I mean, we only started the jam sessions like this year.
Okay.
So that's like we're very early.
Okay, so we're on the very ground level. Okay.
But we're hoping to build it. Like right now, we're only doing the first Tuesday, but if it starts picking up, we'll do every other, and then maybe every week even. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah. You got to start somewhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, as far as lessons and things like that go, I mean, do you see a lot of people from like solely the back mountain, or do you kind of pull from the Wilkes-Barre area?
I'd say mostly the back mountain, but we had people come from like Benton and Berwick and kind of all over. Not so much Wilkes-Barre, more kind of going out, Sweet Valley, Benton, kind of out that way a little bit more.
Gotcha.
We probably had people come from Wilkes-Barre, but I'd say it's mostly back mountain and then past.
Where are you? Is the camera set up on the stage right now?
Just in front of the stage.
Oh, gotcha. I'm trying to get a visual of
where it'll be.
Yeah. That's cool. It's a cool spot.
Yeah, you have to stop down.
I told the guys in Spud I need to stop down.
March 11th, right?
Yeah, March 11th, Stingray.
Local blues guy. He's going to be doing a show here.
He's doing a show with him and his drummer, longtime drummer, C.W. Thomas, and half of Spud, me and our bass player, Steve Cornea. We're doing the blues show with him. He's one of my guitar teacher. He taught me just about everything I know. And then I flipped it upside down and did my own thing with it.
Cool.
That'll be a free show as well.
Yeah, free show.
What's that? Is it a Saturday?
March 11th. Friday. I think, actually.
So it should be fun.
Yeah, Stingray's been doing his thing for a long, long time.
Yeah, local legend, you know. Yeah. So
I haven't heard that name in a long time.
You're here, so which is good.
That was actually my introduction into Wayne's World, because I started taking lessons with Ray when I was 8, and then I probably took lessons with him since I was like 8 till
20 probably, yeah.
And I started working here, and I've just always been around here, and it's just always been my place, you know.
Now, as far as I hate talking about it, but I feel like we have to because it's the world we live in. Getting through a pandemic. I don't recall, but I don't think that a music store was deemed essential.
No, that's
at least. So yeah, I mean, I talk about that period of this time in the life of Wayne's World.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
We had to switch and do mostly Zoom lessons. So we were doing the lessons, you know, still one-on-one, but doing them through Zoom like we're doing now, which for most people at work, some people is pretty difficult.
It was difficult with kids just because, you know, most kids wouldn't even understand how to like tune their instruments. So trying to teach them how to tune their instrument when they're on the other end of the call, like there's just...
It definitely didn't work for new students.
Yeah, with like more long-term students that we had for a while, the transition was a little easier. But trying to get new students was a little difficult with it.
And then doing a lot of sales through online. Site called Reverb I was using, and eBay, and just trying to, you know, keep it going. I was also doing like curbside pickup. Like if you Facebook me or called me, you know, I'd run outside with it. You know, I was coming up a couple days a week still. And so, you know, I technically wasn't open, but still trying to stay busy and keep the business rolling. So, which, you know, wasn't easy, but luckily we have some really good customers, and we're able to, you know, hold our feet and keep our head above water. So
I feel like the main thing that's helped us through the years with everything is just having a strong foundation of regular customers and people that
we have some great customers.
We have some very great customers that we see, and you know, this place is kind of a hub for a lot of people. We have a lot of people that just come in and hang out with us for hours at a time, and we love it. It makes the day go by a lot quicker.
Yeah, it's good to have that. When I talk to a lot of musicians, a lot of those places also seem to be like recording studios that have been like just a great hub and hangout spot.
Yeah,
I don't think people realize how important that is.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's something that's dying, and, you know, think of how many record shops there was 10, 15 years ago. You know, every city or small town had one, you know. There was a Gallery of Sound in, like 13 locations at one point.
He had a lot.
You know, yeah. So there was always just a spot to go and talk music with like-minded people and hang out. And even guitar shops before Guitar Center, you know, there was 3 or 4 in Scranton. There was a couple in Wilkes-Barre, Pittston, Plains. Like there was, you know, music shops everywhere. They're a little bit of a dying breed now. So still got some floating around, including us.
Yeah. I remember I tried to get a job at Gallery of Sound when I was young, like when I was 16 or whatever. And you had to take a test. And I don't know what it was, but I never got a call back.
No, didn't pass the test.
Maybe you said you don't like vinyl.
At that time, no. My parents used to listen to vinyl. I was okay with it back then. It's so bulky. I mean, like the collection I have now is so big, and like they're smaller, and like
they're heavy.
Oh yeah,
and you got to store them right, or they get ruined. Like, you don't store them properly.
It takes proper care. You have to clean them every time you use them, and it's definitely a process. Like I totally get why someone wouldn't be into it.
Like, and if you are, totally it's kind of like not a tradition. What's the word I'm looking for? Like we do it every time, like a routine. It's almost like routine, you know what I mean, like a good routine where you're enjoying doing it.
And I feel like with vinyl too, especially versus streaming, you get a little bit of this with CDs, but like it makes listening to music more of an activity more than just like a background thing.
That's kind of what I was trying to get at.
You actually have to take the record, put it on the player, and it's like you're almost sitting down specifically to listen to music as if you were watching a movie or something. Where if you're just streaming it, a lot of the times you just have it on in the background. It's just kind of a backdrop to whatever you're doing.
And you might not be playing the full album from start to finish, like you mentioned earlier. You might be listening to one song from this, one song from that. You don't get the full experience of what the artist was trying to do there.
Maybe I'm just lazy.
I get it.
And that's valid.
I totally get it. Yeah.
Totally valid.
Yeah, because before I got into it, I thought the same thing. It's a lot of work just to listen to music. I was a CD guy. So I'm like, it's a lot of work. Then once I started doing it, I'm like, I kind of enjoy this. Like, this is fun, It's like people that make their favorite drink every night. They don't complain about making their drink. That, maybe not half the enjoyment, but, if you make it right, kind of fun,
I have like a core group of friends that we're in a text group, and they all have, vinyl and vinyl. Well, maybe not all of them. Maybe if there's 5 or 6 of us, maybe all but 2 of us, including me, have this extravagant setup. But they'll they have walls of vinyl. They have to mount it to the wall because, it's so heavy, and they have children. And they'll spend the entire Sunday afternoon, like you said, cleaning the records. And I'm lazy.
It's a lot of work. Especially seeing it from the outside, totally get what you want to do.
That's why I was saying, I totally understand why someone wouldn't be into vinyl.
Yeah.
But it's once you finally do get it into it, it just kind of starts going deeper and deeper.
I don't have time for it either.
I get it.
Yeah, outside of I don't want to clean it.
Totally fair.
That's why I don't shoot my gun that often. I don't want to clean it.
Yeah, yep, I understand that one too.
Oh man, well, it's really cool what you're doing, and you're making a space for musicians and a place to hang out, and it's almost the opposite of where musicians have been, over the past year or two, just because they've been, there's no shows, there's no anything which I was really concerned with musicians and how are they going to survive without being able to play, it's that's such a form of the art and part of it. And
there were a lot of up and downs, just even playing with Spud, it's it was dead for months and months and months. And then last summer, it started picking up. We were playing a lot. And then there was another scare with the new variant and stuff, and started diving down. It looked like we were going to shut down again, and it's worrisome.
Every day it's something new.
Yeah, always. That's why I think both of us, we just stopped paying attention.
I'm over it. I'm so sick and tired of it. I hate talking about it, but I feel like I said before, I kind of have to, just to kind of address the elephant in the room. And I just want it to be over. I mean, we're going literally on 2 years now.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Feels a lot shorter.
It's is it gonna end? At this point, I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised in 5 years. Are we still gonna be talking about it? It's still gonna be a thing? I hope not, but I didn't think it was gonna last this long. If I was a betting man, I'd be 6 months tops.
I feel
forgotten about.
I feel like both of us said when it first started happening and the first shutdown happened, we'd be all right, it's 2 weeks. We're closed 2 weeks. We can do this.
We'll be back at it.
And then, it just kept going on and on and on and on.
It's still a thing.
I feel bad for the kids too. You mentioned earlier, them having difficulty, doing lessons virtually. And think about their school habits and not being in school and trying to do it that way. And the parents, I don't even know how parents survived. I was fortunate where I got to work from home for 3 months, and my wife worked from home every other day. So we were, and my kid was in daycare, so we didn't have to worry about schooling him. What a weird time.
Very weird.
But I'm glad you made it out of it.
Thank you.
Yeah. A lot of other, small businesses weren't as fortunate, and it's sad, but we were lucky. We made it.
Yeah, and you're in a business too that was deemed non-essential. So those were did you receive any kind of help from the government?
I did a little bit. Yeah,
That's good.
I got one of their loans that they were doing, so that definitely helped.
That's good.
Yeah, definitely helped.
But so you built the stage We're very early 2022. Any big plans for the rest of the year?
Kind of just I want to really build the open jam night. Like I said, we might start an open mic as well, and just try to get some more local musicians up here playing. Maybe some people that aren't technically right from the back mountain, and get some new fan bases going. Yeah. Get some new faces in the store.
Also, we're we mentioned we have the Stingray show coming up. Like, we're always looking for new bands and artists to come perform and set up an actual show. So if anyone's listening that's in a band or performing, get in touch with us and we can set something up.
Facebook, call the shop, stop in,
Yeah, where can people find you online?
Facebook is Wayne's World Dallas, or Wayne's World, our phone number, I think.
It's Wayne's World Dallas and our phone number.
So 570-674-1995. And then we do have an Instagram, which is
just Wayne's World Music.
That one's nice and easy.
Cool. And in addition to the stage, do you offer any kind of backline, or is it kind of bring your own gear?
Yeah, no, we usually actually, like with the jam sessions at least, Spud, like we pretty much have our stuff set up to use. Bass rig, drums, guitar amps. We'll usually have one or two set up, but depending, like, what if there's 4 guitar players that all want to get up at the same time and play? So, if you're a player and you have an amp that you particularly like to use, feel free to bring it down. But if not, we'll get you set up.
And for the shows, we have the PA. And
for the shows, we have PA, speaker,
drum kit,
bass rig.
I feel like most people are going to bring their own amp and guitar for that.
Yeah.
So
guitar players are. We're really particular about stuff.
Nothing wrong with that. They're tools,
Absolutely.
Yeah, guitar players are tools.
I didn't say that. I didn't. Those are your words, not mine. I did not say that. No, that's great though. That's awesome. As far as Wayne's World goes, I imagine that's something that you're going to keep for the remainder of your ownership, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's such an old name. That's such a good, standing and tradition. I didn't want to change it.
And I mean, you got that great movie to kind of.
Yeah.
Excellent. Party on.
How many people walked in the door singing that song?
It happens. A lot of phone calls too.
Walking in, yeah. Big long time.
If I had a producer, I'd be like, yo, put that song in here right now.
Hey.
Oh, man. I haven't seen that movie in probably, 20 years?
It's been a couple years for me. It is a classic, though. Yeah, I feel like I need to rewatch it because it has been a while.
We always talk, like, I think every year for Halloween, we always talk is coming in as Wayne and Garth, but we
haven't done it yet. Yeah, one of these years. This might be the year. I've good feeling
I feel like we have it down perfect, too. But
I feel like you should also, just have a white screen hanging and just have the movie playing all the time.
So I want to get a projector screen for the stage anyway, so that might not be a bad idea. I like that.
Yeah. Do start doing some movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, we talked about that last week.
Yeah,
and also we were talking about doing like Mario Kart tournaments and stuff with the projector screen and just getting all kinds of different stuff going.
Do a record listening party.
Ooh, that's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea at all, especially something new comes out, like a new 180 gram pressing or something. We can throw that on.
Did I see Tools releasing something pretty big?
Yeah, some kind of 5 record set.
Yeah.
Only one side has music on it, and then the other side etched out art. It sounds pretty cool. I'm curious. I'm curious about it. Now, you only get it at the shows. I think I read. Yeah,
I read that too. Yeah, it was. They were in Philly last night. I think it was. They were talking about it or something. I forget.
Yes, I think Philly was the first night they were releasing them. So, which I think was last night actually.
Yeah. Yep. So do a record listening party. Get some. There's got to be a nice coffee shop out there, right? Like local.
Yeah, there is. There's a new one that just opened down the road actually.
Really?
Yeah, I can't think of the name. By Ranch Wagon. If you went down the hill there by Ranch Wagon, there's a new cafe in there. I forget the name though.
Yeah, we've actually talked about trying to turn this into like a little coffee shop as well as a music shop.
Just keep running out of room, but might be able to do it sooner or later.
I mean, either way, we usually like, at least when we first open, have a pot of coffee in the back. So like any regulars that come in, we usually offer a cup too. But we might start trying to sell it too.
Now you're almost in that full space in that building, right?
No, not anymore. We used to be. Now that there's 3 shops with us.
Oh, okay.
On the very end is Acme Jewelers, which they've probably been there
1,000 years.
Yeah, they've been there a long time. Then we're in the middle section, and then on the end is an antique shop.
Okay.
The antique shop as well. It got to be way too big. You know, it was a lot to try to maintain a store that size. It was, I mean, I could have had a huge stage then, but it just wasn't worth having that much real estate.
We make do with the room that we have, I think, right now. But I mean, it is limiting when we talk about like expanding to other aspects and stuff.
Well, you never know. Maybe the antique shop will one day leave, and it'll be a right time for you, and you can take it back over.
Very true. Very true. Who knows what the future holds? You know, hopefully we're not going anywhere anytime soon. So
we didn't see a pandemic coming. So
no, we did not.
Who the hell knows?
No, yeah.
Oh man.
Wrong.
But you used to have some like, I don't know how many people used to work there, but you've had some big names that have worked at Wayne's World.
Aaron from Breaking Ben used to work here.
Yeah.
Saliga from Breaking Ben as well.
Yeah.
Now we got Sammy from Spud. He's going to be the next rock star to blow up. So
that's what I was thinking.
Yep. So
think about it, bud.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm sure there was others too, and I can't think of who at the moment, but
I think there were 2.
You know what I mean?
Ray's definitely a local legend if there ever was one. So,
I mean, what you should do is you should try and get a hold of Aaron. Be like, yo, bud, come break the stage in.
That's true. Even if he came down for one of the jam nights, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He definitely has
It's Aaron.
He's, I followed Aaron for a long time before he got into Breaking Ben, and it couldn't have happened to a better person. And he still does not forget where he came from, which is amazing.
Absolutely. Yeah, I used to do Hops and Barleys. What was it, every Tuesday night, right?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, it was great.
And then it was either the same time or maybe even before that, it was a place called Liam's, which was in Wilkes-Barre.
All right.
And we used to every Thursday, I think it was, or Wednesday. I think it was Thursday.
I think it was the Ale House before it got flooded. Remember was it River Street Ale House, I think?
Yeah. Now it's a church.
Yeah, now it is. I drive past it a lot coming home from work, so it is a church.
Yeah.
So
yeah. But that was a good spot too.
It was.
It's a shame that flood again. What, 2011? Gonna wipe that out?
I think I think 2011. So already over 10 years ago. It's crazy. Time goes by.
It does, man. It's crazy how fast it goes. I don't even know anymore. I feel older. I feel a year older every day. It seems like.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But I don't know. I'm glad you guys got this new stage going. I'm pumped that you're trying to get some action out in the back mountain as far as getting this local scene together and encouraging the arts and entertainment. I think what you're doing is great.
Appreciate you having us on here too. Thank you.
Thanks for having us on.
It's funny. I drive past your place every time I go to visit my mom. I was just out there last week, maybe. I should have swung by. I will get out there.
Last week, actually.
Yeah.
Neil was here last week.
Yeah?
Yeah. You know Cameron?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they swung in. They were here last week.
They swing in together now and then.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'll see Cameron over the holidays. He'll always stop out at my mom's place.
Nice. Yeah, he's a great kid. He used to work here too, actually. That's how I know Cameron. He works here.
Really?
In high school. Yeah. Love Cameron. He still pops in whenever he's in town,
That's good. Yeah, he's a good kid.
He is.
I'm trying to think of the next time. Oh, I had this March 11th date written down. I don't get out much these days.
Yeah. If you're out and about, definitely swing through.
I just, I did like my once a month or once every 2 month night out was it last Saturday or last Friday rather? I went and saw Lifer at the Jazz Cafe.
Nice. Yeah, I wish I could have made that. They were one of my first concerts I ever saw when I was like 11. Actually, they opened for Godsmack at Montage. Aaron Fink still stops in all the time too. He's another great guy. I love Aaron.
Yep.
How was the show? Great, probably, right?
Oh, it was awesome. Yeah, it's amazing how tight they are after all these years.
Yeah.
They did a cover of the A Weekend song, I think it was.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah, it was like, wow, this is not what I expected from these guys.
Cool. Very cool.
So good. But how about Spud? What's Spud up to? Any shows coming up outside of the?
We're playing in Syracuse in a couple weeks. Other than that, we're doing Gibber Jazz, some kind of jam in April.
That's in what, School Haven?
No, it's in Elephant. That town. And then, getting booked up for the summer. Winter was kind of slow for us. Yeah, actually, 513, we're doing a Beatles tribute at the Jazz Cafe.
Oh, shit.
So that should be fun.
That's cool.
Yeah. We kind of slowed down a little bit this winter. We're kind of starting to get booked up for the spring and the summer. Honestly, after last year, we kind of could use a little bit of a lapse because we got a little busy.
Gotcha. Nothing at the Pisano Wines?
No, we actually haven't been there yet. I need to hit them up.
Yeah.
That's a cool spot. I've been there a couple
I haven't been there yet either.
Yeah, it's a cool little spot.
All these cool spots opening up back home. I've never been there.
Yeah, it's tough getting out as a parent,
We actually just played up like 2 feet up the road here this past Saturday at North Slope.
Okay.
With our buddy Cameron Warner. He got a pedal steel guitar. So he sat in with us for the whole gig. So we kind of did like a whole little country thing. It was a lot of fun. We never really did anything quite like that before. But we're always trying to expand and experiment with different genres. So just open to anything.
Did North Slope stop making their own beer?
Yeah, they did.
They lost their brewer, I think, about a year or two ago. I forget, but they pretty much only carry other locally brewed beer now. So they have like Susquehanna Brewing and Yingling, all kinds of different locally brewed stuff. They don't have any.
That sucks, though. I mean,
it does kind of suck. Yeah,
I think they're for a brewer, but it might be easier said than done.
I'm sure.
I interviewed the guy at New Trail Brewing in Williamsport, and I was just out at I stopped out at the Back Mountain Brewery.
That just opened?
Yeah, it's up at the Twin Stacks up the road.
Yeah,
I stopped in there. I heard good things.
What'd you think?
It was good. There was what the hell did he call it? Shit, I never even heard of the style before, but it was excellent. But I always thought it would be cool. Like if I could do things over again, I might try and like go to school to be a brewer.
That'd be cool.
It's never too late. Cool.
Dude, it's too late for me. I mean, and only because like kids and it maybe if the beer thing is still like a thing in 20 years when the kid's older and
it's not going away.
Yeah, I don't think
we're Americans. We like alcohol.
Yeah, we like to drink.
Well, I mean, like I'm talking like those local like craft beer bars and things like that. I mean, like you're always going to have the Coors Lights and the Miller Lights and things like that. But there's always something I feel like with breweries and things like that. Like it's very similar to the local music shop. It's a place for people to gather and celebrate and just there's a different vibe.
Yeah, and you're right. Like it is something that kind of only like blew up again in like the past 5 to 10 years.
Yeah,
it seemed to get really popular. So who knows what 20 years is going to look like? Hopefully, it keeps going up and it stays.
I used to homebrew, and I wish I kept doing it because that was 2010. I was doing that, so maybe I could have been a brewer by now if I stuck with it. But I'm a quitter. I'm lazy. I told you.
Yeah, I hear you.
Trying to keep all that stuff clean. Because that was like the biggest thing. You had to make sure that stuff was sanitized. And
sure.
But why were we talking about? Oh, I just thought that North Slope had the beers were decent, but I thought the branding that they had, like, I always hate when a brewery opens up and the branding kind of sucks or lacks. Like, you have such an opportunity to make something cool and creative.
Yeah.
And I thought North Slopes was pretty good.
Yeah, and it's a cool room. I always like I like the way they have their stage set up. Like, they have this nice little I don't know, like, border thing on the front,
like
where
fencing.
Yeah, like this kind of like fencing thing on the front with the tabletop, so like I could put like my drink and my guitar slides and all my gadgets and stuff up there. I don't know, it's a nice room. I like the room. It has a good laid back vibe to it.
Yeah, even for just like a Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
Bite to eat.
Also being right in town here, like, it's right. I didn't even have to cut out work early or anything to get to the gig, because it's literally like right up the road. So It was good.
Well, if any brewers are listening, hit up North Slope in Dallas. Bring back the beer.
That's right.
Do a campaign. We'll do a fundraiser at Wayne's World to find a brewer for North Slope.
That'd be awesome. Support.
That's funny. Cool. Well, guys, if you've got nothing else, once again, I'm what you're doing is awesome. Obviously, I'm a huge advocate for the local scene, and I'm glad there's other people like you doing the same thing.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate it. Thank you for having us.
All right, guys. Thanks so much. Check out Wayne's World in Dallas. Next, I don't know if this is going to come out by Tuesday or not. I'm hoping. I've got one for this week, but every first Tuesday of the month. So check them out. So,
awesome.
Guys, thanks. Appreciate it.
Have a good night.
All right, you too. I'll see you
later.